everyone, my name is Rachel, for those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of teaching just yet. So we've got a bit more of a challenging session today, so we'll just get straight into it. Grab your mat. If you need a prop, please do grab one, perhaps a towel or cushion. You can pop that beneath the hips. So we'll come into a comfortable seated position. Bring our left foot in followed by our right to begin. We'll bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, so this would be prayer hands. We slide the thumbs in between and bring the hands to heart center, making that connection. And we'll gently close down the eyes just for a moment. We'll lengthen up tall through the sit bones, so sit back on the sit bones just a little and lengthen through the spine. We'll relax the shoulders and soften at the elbows. And take a moment here just to arrive on the mat. Notice any thoughts that might be cluttering the mind and trying just to let those go if possible. Noticing any emotions and not judging yourself or trying to feel as though you shouldn't feel something. Just allowing yourself to feel. And from this space now, I'd like you to set a dedication for your practice. Perhaps it's to something you're working towards, perhaps your loved ones, or perhaps those not known to you facing times of difficulty or challenge. Dedicate the fruits of your practice. Gently release the palms down and you can blink open the eyes now. And we'll just take a moment to connect into the breath. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh all out through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh all out through the mouth. One more like that. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it all out through the mouth. Now from here, I'd like you to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. As we connect to the Ujjayi breath, which is a heating breath, where we constrict the muscles at the back of the throat. And it's an audible breath. It sounds as though the waves are coming and going at the shores of the ocean. Equal inhale with equal exhale. Equal length and depth. And each inhale, fill the lungs, fill the belly. And each exhale, fully empty the lungs and empty the belly. I remind you to use the breath as a tool during this practice. It's not the goal, but you can use it to come back to the present moment. On your next inhale, we'll reach the hands up above the head, gazing up at the fingertips as the palms meet. Exhale, reach the hands forward. We're just going to place them just a little further forward than the knees in front of the mat. And just lower the chin down. We're just lengthening at the back of the neck here. Keeping the hands as they are. Inhale, lift the chin. Keeping the sit bones on the mat. Exhale, tuck the chin. Inhale, lift the chin. Lengthening the front of the throat. Exhale, lower. Now just stay as you are. I'm just going to come to the side now. On your next inhale, we're going to roll over the knees if that's comfortable for you. Tuck the toes and bring the knees so that they're directly beneath the hips. If that's not comfortable, you can choose to bring the knees to one side and just meet in a tabletop position. We'll just come into some quick cat-cows here, just to ensure that the spine is nice and warm before we begin. So we'll take an inhale with a neutral spine. And as you exhale, lower tailbone, lift middle back, upper back, and finally bring the chin to chest. Coming into our cat. Inhale, lift tailbone, concave lower back. Broaden through the chest, gaze forward and up. Exhale, come back into our cat. So lower tailbone, lift middle back, upper back. Finally bring the chin to chest. Inhale, come into our cow. Exhale, just come back to a neutral spine here. We're going to take the hands slightly wider than the shoulders now. And we're just going to fan out the fingers, so middle finger pointing towards the top of the mat. Tuck the toes under if they're not already. We'll just shimmy the knees a little bit further back so they're not directly beneath the hips. And lift the hips high, lift knees high. Coming into our first downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Perhaps bringing some movement to the hips feels good. Perhaps movement to the neck. Slowly, slowly, one vertebra at a time. One foot at a time, one step at a time. We're going to come to the top of the mat. You might choose lots of little steps or perhaps just a couple of big steps. Then we bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart. So we come into our first forward fold. So relax the belly, chest on thighs. Relax the neck. So gazing at the knees. Hands perhaps might be either side of the feet or perhaps opposite hand clasps, opposite elbow. Slowly, one vertebra at a time, we're going to roll up to a standing position here. Keeping our big toes together and coming to the tops of the mat if you're not already there. Bring our hands to heart center. We're just going to warm up now with a couple of sun salutations. We'll go with sun salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the hands forward and up. Gentle back bend if it's comfortable. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, belly, chest on thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. Fingertips might be on the mat or perhaps on shins or thighs for this first one. Wherever you're at is great. Exhale, hands come either side of the feet, step back to a high plank and lower down. We're going to lower down with the knees on the mat, tuck the elbows and lower all the way down. Inhale, flow through to Cobra. Big toes together, tuck the elbows. Exhale, tuck toes, push back through child's pose. Lift hips high, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And exhale, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, hands come back down to heart center. Let's just repeat once more, but we're going to add on Utkatasana, the chair pose at the start. So inhale, sit the hips back, arms reach forward. The triceps are in line with the ears here. Exhale, forward fold, belly, chest on thighs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, tuck the chin. Exhale, step back to a high plank and lower down, knees on or off the mat. Inhale, flow through to Cobra or Up Dog, your choice. Whichever is the best variation for you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, reach the hands forward and up. Exhale, we bring the hands back down to heart center. Inhale, let's reach the hands up, sit the hips back again this time to Utkatasana again, chair pose. I'm going to bring the hands to heart center. Now, you can stay here if you like, otherwise you can take the outer edge of the right elbow on the outer edge of the left knee. So I'm really going to take that elbow and press it into the knee and then really draw those left ribs up towards the sky. My gaze is coming over my left shoulder. Now, both my heels and the balls of my feet are pressing into the mat here. From here, I'm going to gaze down at my feet. And then I'm going to step my right foot back into a lunge with a twist. If that's too much, you can lower that right knee down onto the mat. And perhaps we're still taking the elbow on the outer edge of the knee, or perhaps we're coming up here with the left elbow on the hip and the right hand just on the outer edge of the knee. Whichever variation you choose is fine. If you lower the knee, let's lift it up now, just for a moment. From here, we're going to come out of the twist. We're going to reach the hands up, coming into a high crescent lunge. Just take a gentle bend in that right knee, so we're going to protect the lower back, lift the lower belly up here. Knee tracking toward, that left knee is tracking towards the pinky toe. And we're going to come into some pulses here. So take an inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, lower the hands down, elbows down to shoulder height, and lower the right knee 1 inch off the mat. Inhale, let's reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Good work. Stay with the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the hands up. Bring the hands to heart center, and exhale, we open to warrior 2 on the left side. So just take a look down at the feet here. The left arch of the foot should be in the line with the right arch should be in line with the left heel. Knee tracking towards the pinky toe here. And just take a moment here to relax the shoulders away from the ears. One more moment here. And then we're going to lower the left elbow down, windmill that right arm up as we take one long line from the outer edge of those right fingertips to the outer edge of that right foot. Now you can stay here, or perhaps you'd like to take a bind, or perhaps we're just keeping those right fingertips pointing long and just lowering the left fingertips down onto the mat. Your choice. Or perhaps we're still up here. Coming out of the bind, or just placing that forearm back onto the thigh for a moment. And from here, we're going to press into the feet. So sometimes we often lower and dump all of our weight into that left hand. So I'm going to challenge you now to make sure you're not doing that. So press into the feet. I'm going to lift that left hand up. So both hands are pointing up. Really engaging both sides of the core here, ensuring that the core is doing all of the work. Good job. We're going to straighten up to warrior 2 now. Heel toe that right foot a little bit closer in. Straighten the left foot. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to reach forward with the left hand, forward at the hip, and come into Trikonasana, the triangle pose. So it's most important here that our right hip is stacking on top of the left. We're lifting our right ribs up high and the hands up towards the sky. So if it's too hard to do all that, just bring your left hand up a little higher. Then it's more likely that you're going to be able to open up through those ribs. Now I'm going to take that right fingertip now. I'm going to bring it down. If that's too much for the shoulder, just windmill it around. And I'm going to frame that left foot. I'm going to step my right foot back a little bit and square off my hips. I'm going to take my right hand here and place it down next to my foot. I'm going to lift my left hand up high. So I'm doing an easy internal twist here. From here, I'm going to place my left hand on my left hip, and excuse my back for this one. And I'm going to step my left foot, if I can, in one motion to stack on top of my right as I come into a side plank. So we're ready? Step it back. And woo! Good job, everyone. Now you do have the option here of lowering that right knee down. So long as we're lifting that right hip up here. If you really want to challenge, you can lift that left leg up high. Let's lower it back down. We bring the left hand down as we come into a high plank. Let's lower the knees, tuck the elbows, lower all the way down. Inhale, flow through to cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, push back through child's pose, lift hips high, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we reach the hands up. Exhale, hands come back down to heart center. We're going to repeat that on the right side. Stay as you are. I'm just coming on this side so that you don't see my back the whole time. Inhale, reach the hands up, sit the hips back. Utkatasana. Pressing both feet, both the front of the feet and the back of the feet into the mat. We bring the hands to heart center. I'm going to take the outer edge of that left elbow now and place it on the outer edge of that right knee. Again, I'm going to use that as an anchor to press into my thigh to really lift those right ribs up towards the sky, and I'm going to gaze over that right shoulder here. From here, I'm going to gaze back down to my feet, and I'm going to step that left foot back in one nice gracious movement. If you fall over, don't worry, just have a laugh with yourself. And really make sure that left heel is spiking towards the back of the mat. Now, again, you can lower that left knee if you need to, or you can come all the way up, keep that right hand on the hip, left hand comes on the outer edge of the knee. All perfect options for you to take. If we lowered the knee, we're going to pick it back up now. I'm going to press into that front foot, bring the hands back to heart center. I'm going to reach the hands up, bringing our hands into blade hands. Just take a gentle, I'm going to step my foot in a little, and you can too, just to find the length of the stride that's comfortable for you. Take a gentle bend in that left knee, and just so that you can lift that lower belly to protect that spine. Now, those of you paying attention, you'll know what's coming. Let's go. We're going to come into some pulses. So inhale, reach up really tall. Exhale, elbows come to shoulder height. Knee lowers down 1 inch off the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Making sure that right knee is pointing towards the pinky toe to protect the knee. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we reach up this time. Bring the hands to heart center. Exhale, we open the arms to bring them to shoulder height as we come into warrior two on the right side this time. So knees tracking towards the pinky toe, outer edge of that left foot is strong on the mat. Relax the shoulders. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, lower the right forearm down onto that thigh, windmill the hand up so that there's one long line from those fingertips to the outer edge of that left foot. If you can even try to just lower a little bit further, sink a little deeper on that front knee. It's a challenge, I know, but I'm sure you are all up to it. Okay, you can take a bind here if you like. So we take left hand behind the hip, right hand comes up and under, or perhaps the right forearm stays on the left arm, or perhaps the fingertips come down onto the mat, your choice. Whichever variation you choose, perhaps come back now. We're going to make sure that our core is doing some of the work. So I really want you to press into both feet now, and I'm going to reach that right hand up. So we're pointing our fingers long. So there's one long line on that left side body. Beautiful job. Now we're going to exit this phrase now. Lower the hands down just to warrior two. We're just transitioning. Heel toe the left foot in a little to shorten the stance. Inhale, straighten the right knee, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, reach forward from the hip and fold at the hip, coming into Trikonasana on the right side. Now you can choose whether perhaps you gaze down at your foot for balance. You might be just gazing straight ahead or up at the fingertips. Again, we want to make sure we're lifting those ribs up high, rotating, stacking that left hip up on top of the right. Now I'm going to look down at my feet for balance now. So I can take that left fingertip and just bring it down, or I can windmill it around if that feels good for the shoulder. I'm going to frame that right foot, bend the right knee, square off my left foot and step it back a little further. So I'm really making sure now that there's a right angle at my right knee. Keeping the left fingertips on the mat, I'm going to reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. From here, I'm going to press into that left hand, put my right hand on my right hip, and I'm going to step my right foot back to stack it on top of the left in one quick motion, if you can do that. And again, excuse my back. Ready? Let's go. Side plank, that's it. Now, you can choose to lower that left knee down onto the mat. Perhaps you can flex the feet, stack them on top of one another, or perhaps the right foot can step in front of the left. If you want extra challenge, you can take the right leg and hover it above the left. Now let's break the pose now. Let's take the right hand down onto the mat as we come into a high plank. Now I'm just going to lower the knees and I'm going to sit the hips back, untuck the toes, and just come into child's pose now. Stay there for a few breaths. I'm just going to come up so then that you can hear my voice. And just take a moment just to let go. Not be worried about where you're going or where you've been, whether or not you think you should have done poses better. Let go of any judgment. Sitting up now, as we sit the heels down onto the hips, down onto the heels. We're actually going to do a toe squat, it's called. So we're going to tuck the toes, so coming up onto the knees, we're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to sit so the toes are tucked. I'm going to sit the hips back down onto the heels. Now, already this might be a little bit of discomfort, but I really encourage you to stay with it. It's something that we probably hardly ever do, stretch our feet enough. So stay with it if you can. I'm keeping my feet as I am. I'm just going to turn to you to the front. So I'm going to reach my hands up tall. I'm going to bend my left hand and reach, I'm going to take the right hand, bend the right elbow, left elbow, take the right hand and just help it to journey a little bit further into the stretch. Then I'm going to take my right hand behind my back and try, if I can, to clasp that hand. If not, it's fine if I'm just reaching for my clothes. Staying in your toe squat there. And let's release the hands. Now I'm going to bend up my right hand, take the left hand behind, trying to grab the opposite hand if I can, or if you just need to grab some clothes, that's fine. We're still opening through the chest. I don't want you to try and do this. Open through the chest still, staying in that toe squat. You've got it. It's just that little bit of a discomfort in the toes. Let's release the hands now. I'm just going to flash the hands, and from here, just place the hands in front of you. Again, coming on the side. Place the hands in front of you. Release the feet, and this is a bit of toe massage. Just nice little gentle pats onto the mat. Perhaps a little bit faster feels good, perhaps a little bit harder feels good. Just bring some blood and circulation back into the feet. From here, let's sit back onto the hips, so cross the feet over. Just come to about the middle of the mat. Now, keeping the knees bent, we're going to reach the hands forward. Slowly, we're going to sit the hips back. And we're going to hinge all the way back onto the hips until we're able to lift our toes up, coming into Paripurnanavasana, the boat pose. So hands parallel with the mat. From here, you might choose the option of placing your hands beneath the knees, or perhaps you might even be able just to lower the toes back down, your choice. We're going to keep our spine long, open up through the chest still. And we're going to connect with our breath now. Tuning back into the breath. Bringing our mind away from what our body might be telling us. Let's break the pose now. We're slowly lowering the feet down onto the mat. We take the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing towards the back of the mat, and just take the hands slightly wider than the hips. Bring the knees in a little bit further than what they were, making sure that the toes, keeping the feet about hip distance apart, but slightly turn them in a little. And from here, we're going to lift the hips high. Now, already, if that feels a little bit off, you can just step the feet a little bit further forward. We're lifting the hips high, really engaging those glutes to press the feet into the mat. Lift the hips towards so that they're knee height. Now we want to make sure we're gazing at about a 45-degree angle, so we're not lowering the head back and we're not tucking the chin all the way. From here, let's lower the hips back down and lengthen out the feet. Keeping the feet flexed, we're going to bend up that right foot, step it over the left. Place the right hand just behind the hip, reach the left hand up tall. As you exhale, we're going to come into the twist. So we're going to gaze over that right shoulder. Perhaps that right elbow is able to come over that, left knee is able to come over the knee. Right hand over the knee. You knew what I meant. Or perhaps it's just the hand. We're gazing over the right shoulder. From here, let's come out of the twist. Use the hands to step the foot over and lengthen out long. Bending up that left knee now, keeping the right foot flexed, stepping it over. Place the left hand behind the hip. Inhale, reach the hand tall. Exhale, let's come into the twist. So we're gazing over the left shoulder here. And let's come out of the twist. Use the hand behind the knee to help it step over and lengthen out long. Now we're just going to come into Shavasana now. So allow the feet to splay out. We're just going to lay down. Allow the feet to splay out. Bring the hands next to the hips, palms facing up. Bring the nose in line with the spine. And I just want you to close down your eyes. And if you can, please take as much time in this pose. I have finished a couple of minutes shorter because I really encourage you to take Shavasana. It's such an important pose. If you can, take 3 to 5 minutes. Whatever you've got is perfect and amazing. So even if it's 30 seconds, just take the time to allow your body to relax while the mind stays fully alert. Thank you so much for having me. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.